What's up, everybody? James Duggan here with IGN Access. Joining me today, Daemon Hatfield, to talk about the Bethesda press conference. You had questions on Twitter, and Daemon hopefully has answers. So let's get started. Where did this paper come from? Who knows? The first guy, Apania, wants to know about The Elder Scrolls 6. And this was one of potentially 30 tweets about The Elder Scrolls 6, including such gems as The Elder Scrolls 7, and even a cat asking about Skyrim 2. So what do you think?
I would love, as much as anyone, to learn about either the next Skyrim or the next Elder Scrolls, but totally not going to happen. Do not get your hopes up for this E3. I know it's been, what, 6 years since Skyrim came out now, but we just haven't heard any rumblings about Bethesda, getting ready to announce the sequel. And I just feel like if that were about to happen, that would be a monumental announcement, and we would have heard something, and there just hasn't been anything. So don't get your hopes up for the next Elder Scrolls, but along the same lines, maybe we'll finally see the Switch version. We know that's still supposed to be coming. Skyrim for Switch. E3 would be a great time to tell us more about that. Plus, Bethesda has the Elder Scrolls Online, and they're pushing the Morrowind expansion pretty hard right now, which comes out this month. So
that's true.
That will probably have a presence there.
We also got the special edition last year.
Sure.
And so it's kind of been in the public consciousness, but man, I cannot wait for Skyrim 2. Of course,
either, yeah.
What its title will definitely be.
Bethesda likes to say, here it is, and it's coming out this fall, and it's just, there's no way a game is coming out this year.
Sure. Okay, let's move on to Wolfenstein, and this comes from Frostfall DS, one of a couple people to mention Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein is much more likely. In fact, I think it's very, very likely that we'll see the new Wolfenstein this year. They hinted at it last year during their press conference, and they called it Wolfenstein the New Colossus, I believe. And the voice actor, the main voice actor from the game, has also hinted that he's working on the sequel. So yes, I do think the next Wolfenstein reveal is imminent.
Great. All right, let's talk about things that aren't official games, but rather some DLC, perhaps for Dishonored 2. Do you think that's likely? Or Andy wants to know about a Fallout 1 or 2 remastered, something in that vein that you can think of.
In terms of Dishonored 2, I would love to see more content for it. It didn't make a huge splash when it was released last year, maybe not as big a splash as Bethesda was hoping. So maybe a 50-50 chance on whether they want to try and keep pushing it or whether they feel like maybe they've done all they could with Dishonored 2. But I would definitely love to play some more. In terms of Fallout 1 and 2 remastered, those would be interesting games to remaster because so many people actually haven't experienced them, but they're pretty old school computer games, so it would be difficult to remaster them for today's consoles, I think. Much more likely for Fallout is to see Fallout VR, Fallout 4 VR, which we know is coming. They announced that 2 years ago now, and we've still been waiting on it. That could be a very, very successful app for VR headsets. So I think I would plan on seeing that this year.
Great. Let's move on to Igor wants to know about a new Doom game. I can say with almost 100% certainty that it probably will not happen, but let's talk about Quake Champions, which they certainly will be talking about. This is in beta. This is a game I've played to some extent. And I quite like. What are you hoping to see there, and what do you think they really need to do to sell that game to people, even though it's free to play?
I'm going to flip this on you because you're much more of like a multiplayer shooter guy than I am.
So I think that they've done a very good job decoupling themselves from Overwatch, which is very important. It is very much still a Quake game. A lot of professional players and Twitch streamers have come forward and said that. So I think highlighting something in the community. Another thing that they really have to get right, and it's a difficult thing for these games to kind of granularly transition from beta to launch, is really defining your launch. And what does that mean? Does that mean new characters? Does that mean new maps? Are people going to be excited about that stuff? How do you really rally the fan base to it? It is a very fun game, and it's worth checking out. So.
Think they'll give us a release date?
Yeah, I would hope so. I would be hoping, I think, for a couple of announcements with content, maybe some refinements to the monetization system, what we can see on the ranked front. They haven't been talking too much about ranked or the esports scene just yet, and then hopefully a release date. So is there anything else you want to see from Bethesda, maybe a Fallout Shelter 2 that you can play as soon as they announce it?
Well, there is a sequel that I do absolutely expect them to have this year, and that's The Evil Within 2. Job listings have all but leaked that game already. So I predict Evil Within 2 announced with a release date of October 31st this year.
Fantastic. Daemon Hatfield, thank you so much for letting us know what we can see from the Bethesda press conference. If you at home want to know what to see from Sony or Microsoft, or maybe even Ubisoft, you can check out other videos similar to this on IGN. And for all things E3, you're already in the right place at IGN.